right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Time Attack. Thank you so much for being here and modding. Welcome in, Mickey. Welcome in, Jesus Save 77. God bless you. Rui, welcome in. Yeah, what a week it has been. We are continuing to see some dumpage in the markets here. Bitcoin is attempting to bounce from a local support level, but to me, things don't look too good here. And let's just jump into today's price action and talk about the possibilities here. So thank you guys so much for being here. Nothing has changed. That 4-hour MCB printed a red dot. You know, guys, so we might see a little bit of a three-wave corrective move here up to, maybe 106, 105 to 107 in that area. But I am expecting new lows to come in on the charts. I am expecting us to grab that liquidity below and potentially come down to our point of control of our 2025 range. Yeshwanth, welcome in so much. Love back to you. And Rick Blood, welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here. So guys, Bitcoin is yesterday in the video, I talked about how this looked like a weak move to the upside and we might get a new low coming in relatively soon here. And it looks like that's happening, but potentially about to happen here. If we do lose our local golden pocket area, which is trying to hold right now. Now, I did not long this golden pocket because I didn't see enough on the charts. We are starting to see some slight bull divs confirm here on Market Cipher B. You can see we do have, actually not bull divs, excuse me. Yeah, not even bull divs. That's what we were looking at. We were looking at on the 15-minute chart here, 15-minute, as we were coming down into that golden pocket. No bull divs, money flow getting worse here. And we did have some slight bull divs on NAMI. You can see slight bull divs and the money flow had been curving to the upside, which I expected a small bounce because of that, but not really anything significant. And I do think that we are going to continue in our potential impulse to the downside. From last Monday, you can see here we have a very clean potential 5-wave impulse to the downside. And if this impulse ends taking out the lows of 98.2 or even coming down to 96.5, to me, that would be a good ending an impulse into macro support level. We should get at least a decent relief rally off of that, where we can look for longs. We can long that relief rally, even if overall it's going to end in a higher low, a lower high. And then we can look to short the lower highs. And maybe this is going to start a bigger multi-month correction, downtrend, correction. So that is kind of what I'm thinking here. Loomis, welcome in. BG, thank you so much for being this. Yeah, you sticking with me through the dump. Thank you so much for that. Here's the thing, guys. As traders, we can make money both ways, and that's the beauty of this. So what we need to do as traders is we map out our areas of interest, our areas of interest that we want to take trades from, and we be patient and we wait for the market to do its thing, and we're prepared for whatever scenario happens. Sure, we can have a bias of one direction or another, and I know as crypto people, we all want the market to continue just mooning forever. But here's the thing, guys. We don't know exactly what the market's going to do. We don't know the overall macro economy, how that's going to change things. And so we prepare for both sides and we trade whatever comes. And patience is the game, waiting for those setups, waiting for your levels to get hit, using proper risk management. So right now, for me, I still do think we have a higher probability of coming down to make new lows. This bigger 3-wave corrective move here, and you want to see an impulse down in here. We can count a double 1-2 impulse in this move. You want to see a 3-wave corrective move in here, which we do. If you look at this as a flat correction in the middle, and then we want to see another impulse down to finish that C wave. And 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we could get that. And if we get that perfect larger 3-wave zigzag correction to take out the liquidity into macro support, I mean, for me, that just looks like a great setup to enter a trade. Now, if we look at Market Cipher B and NAMI, first off, yesterday during the video that I was making, on the 4-hour time frame, NAMI was printing hidden bear divs on this lower high on not only Bitcoin, but almost every single altcoin. The momentum wave was topping out. We were getting a red dot, and Market Cipher B, the money flow is still aggressively leaving out of the asset here. So I don't expect much. If we do bounce from this golden pocket, I'm really just expecting sort of like a 3-wave zigzag move where in yesterday's video, we talked about those targets for that three-wave zigzag move. So if we take our Fibonacci retracement and we go from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3, and we look between the 382 and the 0.5. So that is our general area that we want to see that rejection from the, and if we hit the golden pocket, or specifically the 618 of the golden pocket, then it will invalidate that impulse to the downside. Now you can see that golden pocket is going to be at an important resistance zone. And if we do come up there and hit that, I still will be looking for a short with potentially making new lows. But there's a possibility that if we come up there, we could start to range for a bit in here, maybe see a little bit more of a move up before continuing down. And that's just simply what I'm looking at. But for me, the highest probability is more downside. If we zoom out onto our daily time frame here, daily time frame money flow is still crossing into the red, looking pretty bearish. And on NAMI here, you can see it is in the red. And NAMI's money flow is quicker than Market Cipher B's. So let me actually clean this up just a bit, and we'll talk about that daily money flow. So on the daily chart, if I bring up NAMI full screen here, you can see how aggressively it is leaving the asset here on the daily time frame. And I do think that this could continue. We've got a lot of momentum to the downside right now. And I think this is going to continue to bleed out for a bit more until we get to some real support levels. And hopefully at this fair value, we do see big traders stepping in and looking to take longs. Okay, let me check the chat here. Mickey, it's a pleasure to have you, man. I really appreciate you being here. Oh, Jay is live right now. Okay, wow, I didn't know Jay was live. Trading the whole bear market together in the Telegram group. Heck yeah, Travi Trades, we are, and we're going to build a community of great traders that all support each other, that all give each other levels and, you know, just strategies to help. I think we can build something really special, and I think we can develop some very successful traders in the community. And speaking of that, guys, we do have with BYDFI right now. BYDFI is a main partner of the channel. They are hosting a trading competition. They have partnered with me for my 3,000 subscriber celebration, and they have opened up a trading competition for us just for this community. And this competition, they've put $2,000 into the prize pool for the top 5 traders in the competition. You will earn 80% of the prize pool, and then the remaining 20% will be randomly distributed amongst the other traders in the competition. So if you're in that competition, you have a chance to win money no matter what. But if you are one of the top 5 traders, you can win. This prize pool will also go up $100 for every 1 million in volume traded in that competition. Right now, we're about 200K worth in the competition. Also, they're giving away a pair of Samsung earbuds that's a value of $330. So if you're interested in trading and signing up for this competition, the link will be in the description of this video. Actually, I can grab that link. Let me grab that link, and I will post it in the chat here. And honestly, guys, it's a great way. It really is a great way to get some trading and to learn how to use proper risk management. You know, good practice. Now, if you're being in this competition, do not use improper risk management just because you want to have high volume in your trades. So please, if you're doing this, do it responsibly. Make sure you know exactly what you're doing. And link is posted in the description. So that's there for you guys. BYDFI is a partner of the channel. First off, they are a VPN and KYC free exchange. If you do sign up using my affiliate link, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees. You can earn up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses. And they're offering some of the best deposit bonuses in the entire industry. If you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus. And then you can get various 20 to 10% deposit bonuses depending on how much you deposit. You can also earn up to 40% off trading fees if you deposit some of the larger amounts. And I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community. And this Telegram community is free to join. All you have to do is sign up with BYDFI and deposit $100 into the exchange. That's your money to trade with. You'll get the bonus. You'll get the discounts on trading fees. And then you can get access to that Telegram community. Link is in the description. Once you click on that link, just type in /verify in your user ID, which will be right up here. and that'll get you access to it. And I do post trade setups in there. I do post my my thoughts and analysis on the video or on the market. So if you're interested, that's there for you. And a couple other partners of the channel. We do have NAMI trading. NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator. I do use it for entry and exit confirmations on my trades. They are offering 50% off discount. If you're interested, use my affiliate link with the discount code Divine50 and you can get 50% off. And then lastly, we have Bybit and MEXC, both great exchanges. You can sign up with my affiliate links. You'll get futures trading bonuses and discounts as well on the trading fees. Okay, let me check the chat here. Let's see. Hi, Ludong, welcome in, man. Have a question for you. When BTC dominance is spiking like this, is it better to trade BTC than altcoins? Well, here's the thing. If dominance is rising like that, Bitcoin's probably going to be pushing up more than the altcoins, or holding up better, I should say, more than the altcoins. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's better to trade Bitcoin. It just means, first of all, whatever asset you're trading, you should be waiting for proper setups. You know, you just because BTC dominance is spiking doesn't mean that you're going to randomly long Bitcoin out of nowhere, hoping it's going to go up more than the altcoins go up. What I would say is with BTC dominance is it's a good way to realize whether it's the attention is on Bitcoin or if the attention is on the altcoins. And of course, if Bitcoin dominance is dropping, that means the altcoins are probably going to be pumping against Bitcoin. So that's when Bitcoin dominance is really dropping, that's when I really shift my focus from Bitcoin to altcoins and try to get into some of those altcoin trades that could be more profitable. Now, if Bitcoin dominance is rising like this, sure, you can focus on Bitcoin because whatever Bitcoin does, the market tends to follow anyways. But I would say either way, use proper risk management and find your setup, whether that's on Bitcoin or any altcoin that you're trading. Wait for a proper setup, wait for that good risk reward ratio on that trade, and take the trade on whatever you're doing. But yeah, it is continuing to push up here. You know, Bitcoin dominance, I still do think we are going to continue rising just a little bit here on Bitcoin dominance. I would really like to see, let me get rid of that. I would really like to see us come back up to backtest this channel again. It's a bit weird because if we look on the lower time frames, like let me go on to the 8-hour time frame. On the 8-hour time frame, you can see that wick from the crash a couple of Fridays ago, we didn't quite make it up to our golden pocket in the backtest of that channel that broke down, that 3-year-long trend channel that broke down. But if we zoom in on the higher time frames, it does show that backtest. So I don't know if that's just because of the different exchanges had, you know, such different wicks on that crash. You know, Coinbase 107, Bybit 102, Binance 101. But whatever's going on here, I do think because that wick is so aggressive, we could at least continue rising to fill in at least some of the imbalance that was created within this wick, and potentially even take out those highs to back test that channel before seeing the big drop, hopefully a big drop on Bitcoin dominance, and then maybe one last run for the alts. But, you know, anytime you have a large, long trend like this goes back to, what is that, March of 2023. So, you know, over 2 years, almost going on 3 years now, Bitcoin dominance had been trending within this channel with one small deviation that happened during a mini alt season. And when we break that down, you oftentimes will see that bearish backtest of that trend to see whether the whatever assets trend that is going to fail, and we're going to kind of reverse that trend, or if it's going to get back in it and the trend is going to continue for a little bit longer. And so that's kind of what I'm waiting for on Bitcoin dominance. And for me right now, I'm just being patient with Bitcoin dominance. It looks like it's just slowly rising here, and we want to see it really kind of reject from that general area, which is also going to be our golden pocket. And if we turn on the 786 with that as well, we could rise up to the 786 if this Bitcoin dominance and kind of chops around here for a bit. Maybe we get like a fill of the wick, sideways range, and then we come up something like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for with Bitcoin dominance. So it does, you know, Bitcoin does tend to hold up a lot better than the altcoins when we get these aggressive dumps to the downside, or when we get this panic and fear to the downside. We see a lot of people sell out of altcoins. Okay, watch tomorrow, 55% chance of downside of all days on average. Okay, so Thursdays are the most bearish of all days. Wow, interesting. Well, let's see if we, So far we've been a little bit bearish today. We've been dropping a little bit throughout the day, and we're attempting to get a bounce from our golden pocket right now. Now, guys, earlier today, I know Jason did long this golden pocket, by the way. Earlier today, it wasn't enough for me to long. And as we were coming down and hitting into this golden pocket, I said, guys, I'm going to hold off on the long here because we were not seeing any real bull divs. And what we wanted to see as we were coming down to this golden pocket through this kind of wavy pattern that we're seeing, these ebbs and flows here, we wanted to see some local bullish divergences. So obviously on the 1 hour, we're not going to really see any bullish divergences because you can't, like, in order to get a bullish divergence on the 1 hour, you have to take out this low. So we're not looking on the 1 hour. That means we have to go on to lower time frames. So if we go on to the 15-minute chart, and as we're grinding down here, you can see that no bull divs, money flow looked kind of bearish. NAMI, once again, did have slight bull divs with money flow coming up, but we also were printing kind of the hidden bear divs as we were coming into that golden pocket area. And if we go a little bit, 6-minute chart here, 6-minute, no bull divs, no real bull divs here. I mean, we had a very small, slight bull div. And to me, it wasn't enough. It's not enough. And sure, we could get a small bounce from here. But for me, it just doesn't look like it. And the higher time frame money flow, like the intermediate time frames, 4-hour money flow, very bearish on Market Cypher B. On NAMI, it is dumping to the downside again, printed the hidden bear div. To me, this does not signal reversal. This does not signal, hey, the low is in and Bitcoin's going to really start pushing up, testing some of those resistances above. It tells me that at the very least, we're going to continue ranging going into the weekend or complete this 5-wave impulse to the downside and take out the lows and grab the liquidity of our 98.2K low, maybe even coming down to 96.5. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to put on my big boy pants and long with the whales. If the whales are longing, that could hold it up. Let's check our order flow, actually. That's really good to look at here. I mean, it is not really showing much here. Our order flow is kind of neutral right now. We wanted to see, as we were coming into this golden pocket right here, we had our golden pocket coming in right in this general area. If we wanted to see like a nicer, bigger push to the upside from that golden pocket, we'd want to see some bullish absorption coming in on the charts, CVD absorption. So in order to see that, you need to be making higher lows on your price action. You need to be making lower lows on the CVD, and you want your open interest to be steadily rising here. And we don't really have any of that. We do have the higher low as of now, but our CVD is also a higher low. And then your open interest is pretty much flat here. So not seeing what we want to see for bullish absorption at the golden pocket. To me, it's just, there's not enough here. There's not enough for me to look for long here. I'll be patient. Now, if it starts to rise up without me, okay, you're not going to catch every trade. And getting into the more secure trades are the way to go. A lot of people like to overtrade or always have some sort of screenshot showing they tried to long the bottom. And for me, that's not the way I'm trying to do this. I like to take the trades that are, better probability, I would say. Okay. Tony Mart, welcome in. Thor's always giving TA. Okay. Thor from Jason Casper's Discord. Awesome, man. And Marco, welcome in, man. And absolutely, you're welcome for the streams. All right, Liberty and Trust, welcome in. Jason Casper sent you. Is Jason still live? Let me give me a second, guys. I'm going to check on my phone here to see if Jason Casper is still live. I intend to do a collaboration stream with him soon. So I haven't asked him about that, and I talked to him about it a little while ago, but I would really like to get that done. I think Jason's a great trader, a great person in general, and so learned a lot from him. I'm part of his community still. I really love that community, respect that community so much. I just, kind of branched off and doing my own thing, but I'm still in there. I still love those guys. Still love Jason so much. He's one of the best traders there is, guys. So, if my style doesn't fit you, I do recommend you go over to Jason. He does have a similar style as far as confirmations on his trades, entering, exiting trades. He uses only Market Cypher B, but he's also looking for those money flow and momentum divergences. C-Train, what's up, man? Welcome in. JC said it was also an aggressive long. Yeah, okay. I mean, it was definitely aggressive. For me, I did not see enough there. T&B Willa, welcome in. So thank you for that comment. Sweeping low. One with nature, welcome in as well. Sweeping low at 98K would make for nice bull dips. Yes, one with nature, that's exactly what I'm waiting for, and it's setting up for that right now. Let's be real honest. Like on the 4-hour chart right now, if we can get a quick flush down to grab the liquidity, or really even take out the lows from Tuesday, we could get that nice 4-hour bull div here into some grabbing major liquidity. And by then, we do really want to see that money flow kind of at least starting to round off and bottom out. And because NAMI's money flow is quicker, I generally like to see NAMI's money flow starting to come up. And we also want to see the bull divs on NAMI as well. So when Market Cipher B has momentum bull divs with money flow bottoming, and NAMI has money flow bull divs or money flow rising and momentum bull divs, to me, when both of those are matching like that and you're coming into a support level, it is like, I haven't done the statistics on it, guys, but it's a large percentage, maybe 70, 80% or more hit success rate on that, on taking that position. So, and then of course, we would also, in terms of our Elliott wave analysis, we could be finishing the impulse. And after an impulse finishes, you're expecting at least some sort of 3-wave corrective move up to the golden pocket of that entire impulse. So we can pull that gold. We'll just do a theoretical golden pocket here right now. Say we come down to 96.5, that POC. We might be seeing a move from 96.5 all the way up to retest 108, 109K. And just look at this. Like, let's just do a little thought experiment here. A little, experiment analysis. Because if we do continue pushing down here in a 5-wave impulse to the downside, hit into our POC. Now, I don't think we're going to see an immediate V-shape reversal. I think it's, especially if we're hitting it kind of going into the weekend, we're probably going to see a bit of a range form down here for a bit. And then we could get that bigger 3-wave corrective move right up to backtest not only the golden pocket of the impulse down, but it would be a larger time frame bearish backtest of our large trend that broke down. And let me zoom out here onto the daily time frame. And for me, this channel was really important. I will show you guys that if you guys weren't around during the last stream. Let me hide this volume profile here, and we'll get rid of this little drawing. But this was pulled based off of our last 2 major weekly lows, from the 49K lows, which was our range lows of our 2024 range, followed by our key 74K lows, which were our lows for the year of 2025. So when you pull that channel based off those 2 pivots, and I put the top of the channel up to our 2024 all-time high, you have a very nice trend that you're following. And if Bitcoin is going to maintain bullish momentum, it really wants to kind of stay within this trend. And we want to, or see a fake out and get, if we're going to fake out into major support, get right back in it. And then you could continue trading within the trend. But the rejections we got, especially the last couple of all-time highs, perfect rejection from the midline, perfect rejection from the midline, and then you start to form that distribution range in this area, and now it looks like we're starting the distribution to the downside. So the back test, the point I'm trying to make is, when you break a major trend like this, oftentimes you will break that trend down into a major support level, not a micro support level or a low time frame. You'll break it into a major support level, and that POC at 96.5, taking out the liquidity of our prior range lows, would be a major support level. Then after that, if we get a 3-wave corrective move to backtest that area, and this is a kind of a low volume 3-wave corrective move, and we're coming up into that area with some bear divs, that could be an epic short where we might be able to short it down to the value area low of the range. And if I pull that range on the chart real quick, we do know that the most important levels on the chart to look at are 1, liquidity levels, and 2, volume levels. And so if we look at our macro volume profile, this is measuring the volume of the entire year of 2025, our range of 2025, you can see that the POC at 96.5, 96.6, on Bybit, I think it's 96.7, but around that 96.5 area. And then you can see our value area low of the range is coming in at our golden pocket. This golden pocket is a macro golden pocket pulled from the 74K lows up to the all-time high. And so we do know that golden pockets already are strong levels of support, but when you have a value area low volume level of support in confluence with that, a macro volume level, macro value area low, that is a very nice area to look for at least some sort of reaction on the price action. So this kind of what I drew right here could be what's going to happen over the next month or so, let's say month, 2 months. And then unfortunately, because we would be continuing the downtrend of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows overall, we might expect a lower high before continuing to break this volume profile to the downside and continue to come down to take out our 74K lows. Remember, for a while now, actually for most of the year, I've been talking about our 5-wave impulse to the upside, followed by, let me just zoom out onto the 2-day time frame here. We will hide this Fibonacci channel and we'll talk about our trend here. On the weekly time frame, as far as our Elliott impulse, so let me zoom out to the weekly here. After that 5-wave impulse completed here, we were looking for some sort of correction. Now, if you go back all the way into January, when I think I opened my channel in late November of last year, so it's coming on a year now of me having my YouTube channel. But we were looking at, after this 5-wave impulse ends, I said the most bullish scenario we could see if we're going to see some sort of super cycle is a flat correction in here and then continuation to the upside. Now, that flat correction based off of the impulse, your correction, you want to at least last to the Fibonacci 382 time. So if we take our trend-based Fibonacci time, that is this guy here, and we're just going to put it from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse. And you can see here that we are coming up into our 382 Fibonacci time. That is the minimum target for a corrective move. And generally, a corrective move will generally last as long as your, I'm not saying we're going to go that low. A corrective move will last kind of as long as the impulse sometimes. Now, that is a 3-year bear market. We've never really seen that with Bitcoin, so I'm not expecting a 3-year bear market. But if we even come out to the 618 in May, when spring is hitting, now I know May does tend to be a sell in May, walk away event, but I'm expecting at least in a bit more bearish scenario where we drop and take out the 74K lows, we could be looking at that flat correction in here that goes until mid-November or even late November. We could be seeing us cross that 382 time. We could be down at much lower targets, taking out that low, and then we might be able to get that nice push back up and maybe reset even a whole entire impulse on a higher time frame again. So this is just one of the scenarios, the more macro scenarios I've been keeping on the chart for some time. Actually for quite, almost a year now, we've been looking at this scenario. Now, I know that there are some other really, really good Elliott analysts that are looking at this a little bit differently. They're looking at this as a double 1-2. You have your 3, a 4, 5, a 4, 5. You're ending your impulse with this all-time high here, and now we're just starting the corrective move. And so let's just map out that scenario real quickly. We'll turn off our trend-based Fibonacci extinction, and we'll hide this here. And we can look at, just a different Elliott wave count here. But let's just say that we are doing, this is our 1, 2, 3. That's not perfect. 4, 5. Now, a double 1-2, it's going to be a 1-2, 1-2 in here, but that's part of it's a sub-degree of your larger wave 1. So wave 1 and 2. So this would be it. And then we would pull our trend-based Fibonacci time from the lows to the highs of the impulse. And we would be looking at, hold on, let me redo that so that we're accurate. We would be looking at a corrective move potentially all the way until November of 2026. Well, that is a year-long bear market, and if we are going into a bear market, generally they last about a year long. And then we could be looking at, unfortunately, because this was such an aggressive impulse to the upside, you do sometimes get those sharp zigzag corrections to the downside, an ABC correction where it's an impulse down, 3-wave move up, and then another impulse down within your C wave. And in a common corrective ABC, you do often drop to that golden pocket level, which is not 57K, guys. Just look at this right here. That is not a 61.8% retracement. Because this is more than a 100% move to the upside, you have to come in here and you have to put your fibs based off log scale. That's going to give you your proper 61.8% retrace. And this is for me the max pain scenario. Like, I do not think we're going to go this low. Personally, I do not think we're going to go this low. But in a max pain scenario, very bad macroeconomic crash. Maybe we're going to go into stagflation. Inflation is going to kick up again. We could be seeing something like this, where we see an ABC correction bringing us all the way down to the mid 30s here, mid to low 30s, where also it is the most historic and important support resistance flip of the entire market. Support, 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 resistance, resistance, and it would be acting as support again. Now, let me be clear. I do not think we're going down there. I do not think we're going that far. I am looking at potentially coming down and taking out your 74K lows, and maybe even coming as low as the low to mid 50s. But, and that's if we actually go into a bear market here. But we have to keep this in mind as objective technical traders. We have to keep this in mind that this could be one of the things that we see. Okay, let me just read the chat here, see what you guys are saying. I'm really glad to hear Jason bring some of you guys over. Love that guy so much. Okay, he just stopped. Okay, not anymore. Jafiel, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. And absolutely, I love to stream with you guys. You know, I really think that my community, my fans here, I don't want to, not fans, my community, you guys are awesome people. Really, really awesome people. I can tell a lot of you are committed to learning. You know, we talk very technical in here. You have to kind of know advanced concepts to understand my trading ways. And I see a lot of you guys really understand trading. And if you keep going, if you're not profitable right now, keep learning, keep that same mindset, keep learning. And I guarantee you, if you can just get the discipline and the risk management down, you will become profitable and you will be able to change your life over time. Trading is not a get rich quick scheme, especially at the beginning when you're in that portfolio part where you have slow, it's like an exponential growth curve, slow growth at time. But then once you start hitting that certain point and it starts to really get, you know, peak, you can really build your wealth from that. So keep going with that. Anyone that is still in the beginning phases or still learning, thank you just for being here. C-Train, welcome in, man. OnlyFans star Sophie Rain buys farm at 21 for 3.5 million to live like Jason Casper. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but Quiles, welcome in, man. Crypto Clan World, good to see you here. Bullish on Parade, welcome in, man. Just walked in. What do you think we can make it up to 118? Bullish on Parade, I don't think we're going to make it up to 118 yet. So let me come back in here on the Coinbase chart, and I can just kind of briefly cover what I was just covering. But I do think we're more likely to come locally to make new lows before seeing any significant retracement to the upside. We're looking at a bigger zigzag correction to the downside, potential ABC correction to the downside. And with this being a double 1-2 impulse to the downside, this first move down to 103.5, this is kind of a three-wave corrective move with a flat correction in here to the upside. And then now we're looking at another impulse to finish. And I'm looking for it to finish, you know, below, really just below the lows from last Tuesday. But I really want to take out that liquidity at 98.2. And if we see this bigger three-wave zigzag correction finish into major support, then we could get a nice rally. But if we look at this last part, the C wave down, we have a very clear 1, 2, 3. This could have been our fourth wave, and we could be rolling over one more time to make new lows and to take out that liquidity to finish our fifth wave, our C wave, within our bigger ABC. And remember, within the A wave, you're looking for impulsive price action. Within a B wave, you're looking for any sort of three-wave zigzag corrective move, whether that's a complex correction or a simple correction. And then within your C wave, you're looking for another impulse down. And to me, this impulse just does not look completed. And we also want to see... really, we want to see some bull divs coming into support, and we're not really seeing bull divs right now. We're not seeing confirmations for a major reversal. Money flow on the daily time frame still looks bearish. If we go on to like the 8-hour time frame, guys, 8-hour time frame for Market Cipher B and for NAMI It works excellent. It's fantastic. So 8-hour time frame. We're attempting to cross up into the green right here, but not much there. Actually, are we starting to roll over? Yeah, we're starting to roll over again on the 8-hour money flow on Market Cipher B. And you can see NAMI here, which is quicker. The money flow is already draining out again. Here's the thing. If we do make one more new low into that support, NAMI could be setting up for some really nice bull divs, and overall the money flow could still be kind of coming to the upside. And major support we are showing on the 4-hour time frame, potential nice bull div setting up. So we want to come down one more low though. 98K would make that dominance go up as well, because we just talked about dominance bullish on parade. I'm not sure if you were there for that, but I'm expecting dominance to continue to rise a little bit more to come up to kind of our golden pocket area. What happened here? Did I delete that golden pocket? Okay. Let's pull that golden pocket again from the highs to the lows. And you can see this golden pocket. Now, yes, we kind of already, this is where trading view gets a little bit wonky, because on the daily time frame, we back tested that trend. The 3-year long trend, we broke it down, we bearishly back tested, and maybe we're going to now start to, see that overall move to 55%, 55.2%. But to me, because the other time frames, every other time frame has not hit that golden pocket yet, and we have not back tested the channel yet, I think this dominance could continue to grind for a bit until we test that. And then hopefully when we test that, we reject and we get a little bit of an altcoin season. But yeah, we're dumping again. Okay, let me check this out. The thing is, guys, like I said, we might see a small bounce from that golden pocket, but it's not anything special here. And I'm not expecting, continuing to start to dump here. No bull divs on the chart. Money flow is still draining out of the asset here. Hidden bear div printed on NAMI. To me, all indications are that we are going to keep going lower. Yeah, one day we will hit trading escape velocity. Odyssey, that is it, man. Just be patient with it. You just got to be patient with it. New now, welcome in. I'm so tired and frustrated of my mistakes. Been at it for 5 years and still not consistently profitable. Trading is really lonely. Sincerely appreciate your streams. Well, new now, you're very welcome for that. And I'm please do keep joining the streams. Please don't give up on it. If you've been doing it for 5 years, you have commitment, you have discipline. Now what it's about, and obviously with 5 years of trading, you have some knowledge of the technical analysis. So what I would say for you then is it's maybe, and you got to be brutally honest with yourself on this, it's maybe some lapses in discipline and lapses in risk management. Are you risking too much per trade because you want to get that portfolio started off quick, maybe double it and then, okay, I'll double it and then I'll start using good risk management, or I'll triple it, then I'll start using good risk management. So you got to be brutally honest with yourself, and you also got to learn the patience to not always want to be in a trade. I made this mistake when I first started trading, and I know a lot of people in many discords that I'm in that always need to be in a trade. And because of that, they are taking trades like, for instance, right now, as we came down to this golden pocket, some people said, okay, well, you know what? I missed the bottom and maybe it's going to go up. So I'm just going to enter at the golden pocket. And I understand that strategy, because if it does go up, you don't want to miss out on it. But you want to wait for your confirmations. If your confirmations aren't there, no matter how bad you think this is going to hold, don't enter it. And trust me, guys, I said this in yesterday's video. I really did want to try to enter a trade at our local retrace if we saw the right, you want to hedge yourself. So, but we didn't see confirmations. And so you sit on your hands and you be patient and you wait. Okay. Yeah, we'll look at ZEC Odyssey. What the heck is Filecoin? Okay, is Filecoin pumping? Let me see. ICP was pumping just the other day. Portal went up 75% in seconds, then crashed back down within seconds. Yeah, it could, Rui, it could have been a whale that bought, and then it kind of just got some sort of liquidation event that happened. And also, yeah, it might be manipulation, but we'll look at those. We'll look at Portal. We'll look at ZEC and Filecoin. And then, guys, post some of the altcoins. We'll go into the main altcoins. We'll go into Ethereum. I think Ethereum, I want to show you guys some very important macro analysis that happened on Ethereum. And because I was just looking at some of my macro analysis on Ethereum, that logarithmic channel, that weekly logarithmic channel. Before we go into that, I just want to do a quick recap on our last stream on Tuesday. Guys, during the stream on Tuesday, remember we were up in this area here, And I said, it's highly likely that the total market cap, now that we're losing our pitchfork midline, we are going to dump down to our lower band here. And I said, we have some important liquidity from the crash lows into your value area low and into your pitchfork band. So we were not there yet. And a lot of people were asking during Tuesday's stream, should I long now? Should I long now? Should I long? Bitcoin was not at support, but the total market cap I use as kind of confluence to know when we could be seeing a bigger reversal here. And I said in the stream on Tuesday, guys, wait until we take the liquidity grab out into your value area low and into your pitchfork band. Now, we did not quite hit the value area low there, but we hit our pitchfork band literally pretty much as perfect as you can hit it. And we SFP'd that low almost as perfect as you can hit it. So we expected at least some sort of dead cat bounce. But because we did not hit the value area low, I talked about this in yesterday's video, we might see one more drop to make that low, to create local bullish divs in here, you know, some bull divs in here. And then we might start to kind of see a bigger corrective move to back test the value area low of this kind of upper range in here. So we can actually look at that value area low. Let's just pull that range. Yeah, in that general area. Let's just do that. No, that I don't like that. Okay, so we'll do it to right there. Yeah, it's going to be right around that $3.69 trillion mark. But first, I want to see kind of a double bottom here, or like a semi-double bottom. Then we can kind of see a nicer move up to backtest that area. But now, the point I'm trying to make with this total market cap is on Tuesday, we were not quite at our support level yet. And I said, guys, let's be patient and wait for total market cap to actually dump and grab that liquidity. We did that now, and you can see it's having the nice reaction that we were expecting on Tuesday. Okay, ZEC. I'm going to go into those altcoins posted real quick, and then we'll get into Ethereum, and we'll get into some of the other coins here. Very quickly, I want to, wow, this thing is really going. I want to set an alert on Bitcoin. Local alerts. Okay, I'm just going to put an alert on the low from today, and if we start breaking that down. And guys, another thing, the VWAP often in a trend to the downside, like remember the other day when we were dumping really bad, rejection VWAP continue down, kind of rejection VWAP continue down, rejection VWAP continue down. So we're kind of seeing that today on low time frames. Like if we go on to the 5 minute, we've had multiple rejections from that VWAP. And so the trend is likely to continue as long as you can't break above that VWAP. Okay, ZEC. I mean, first of all, let's zoom out on the week. Dang, this thing is going crazy here. I do not know if this is the best chart. Let's just go to USDT. Let me check Binance real quick. Okay, yeah. So, wow, we really broke pumped this thing up. You know, we bounced from the bottom of the pitchfork, guys. This is, let's now zoom into the daily time frame. We were down at the bottom of the pitchfork. We were holding the bottom of the pitchfork here, and we just shot up. You can see we flipped the midline to support. We broke above the midline. We flipped the upper band to support. Let me just get rid of some of this here. And now we're even breaking the pitchfork to the upside, breaking above our highs. Our last daily highs here. That's really awesome. This looks very impulsive to me. So here's the thing. Look at this. A wave one, a wave two. You're in your third wave right now. Your big third wave. Once this ends, we expect a retracement, maybe to backtest those prior highs in the top of the pitchfork before making one more high here. So I would expect that this could continue. But be careful here because we are now starting to develop bear divs on the chart. Higher highs here, lower highs here. Now, your money flow, as long as your money flow is good, it's always going to overpower one drive of bear divs. But it's starting to top out here. NAMI's money flow still looks good, and there's no bear divs, on NAMI. So for me, right now, I say this is going to continue pushing higher. We want to see bear divs on NAMI, and we want to see bearish divs on money flow, which we are setting up for, by the way. Look at, if we start to roll over here relatively soon, bearish divs on money flow as well on NAMI. But let's look at some of these trend-based Fibonacci extinctions here. We'll take a trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the potential lows of 1 to the highs of 1 to the lows of 2. If this will click, there we go. And we're already hitting past our 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. So that is your primary target. And actually, Look at where we rejected a few weeks ago, I should say. From that 1.618, you saw a small rejection. This could be your wave 4, but it's highly unlikely because here's the thing. Your wave 4 retracement generally lasts as long or longer than your wave 2. And so if we're looking at your wave 2 here, dang it. Let me just zoom in a bit more to make this easier. Your wave 2 retracement lasted, 87 days. So our wave 4 could last, 3 months or so or more. And as far as our third wave impulse, it looks like we still could be continuing within that third wave impulse. Let's throw on some of our Fibonacci extinction levels. Let's throw on the 2-to-1 and the 2.618, which are very key levels. And we're breaking the 2-to-1 right now. I don't think we're going to be coming all the way up to the 2.618. I've seen it before. It's unlikely. We could be getting close to a top right now. And yeah, I would say just be careful with this. Let's look on some of the lower time frames. Let's go on to the 4-hour time frame here. Yeah, we're developing some significant bearish divergences now. So just be careful with this, guys. Very nice push up. But remember, towards the end of moves, I often say this, towards the end of moves, you start to get that grindy kind of structure, this channel here. And we're starting to see some exhaustion come in with this grindy type of structure. We're hitting into the top of the channel. We could see, if you start to break that down, I would say the third wave is over, this grindy channel structure. But look at these nice bear divs coming in now. Lower, lower, lower. Money flow draining out of the asset as we're coming higher. Bear divs across the board on NAMI. But also look at this. Bear divs, 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 drives of bear div on the money flow from the bottom of this channel. So I would say we're getting towards the end of this third wave on Zcash. I would expect for this to maybe break down soon here. And since we're hitting into our 2-to-1 Fibonacci extinction, yes, you can wick past it a little bit, maybe come a little bit higher here, but overall on like a weekly time frame, you might see just a wick past it, but the daily candle the weekly candle body to close at or below that level. Let's look at our weekly time frame. Actually, money flow still looks really good here, but on NAMI, we do have the weekly bear divs now. Weekly bear divs, money flow topping out on NAMI. So I would say the overall impulse is not done, but we might be ending the third wave of a bigger weekly impulse, and then we might be seeing a fourth wave that could last a few months here. We'd want to see kind of a fourth wave happen, and then you get one more 5 here, and we could look at those targets once we get some more information. But wow, very nice here. Very nice impulsive structure. Let me hide our channel. Let's hide this as well. If you're not long on this already, you can't be longing this now, guys. You can't be longing this. This is just irresponsible to long towards such an aggressive move up. If you get trapped, you're going to be significantly hurt there. But I mean, very nice ascending channel at the end of the move. And within your third wave, okay, so here's another thing. We have our bigger wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 that we're looking at. Within your third wave, you're looking for an impulse within itself. So this was the end of 2. I can see a nice 1, 2, 1, 2. You have your big third wave here. This could be a 4, 5. So now locally we need one more 4, 5 in here, because if you have 2 1 2s, you're expecting 2 4 5s. And so we might see like another week or 2 weeks of upside on this third wave before seeing a multi-month corrective move in a 4 and then one more push up in a 5. But overall, since we're passing the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction, we're passing the 1.618, it is highly unlikely to be a 3-wave corrective move, because even in a 3-wave corrective move in an expanded correction, you can come up to that 1.618, reject, and then come all the way back down. But if you're breaking above the 1.618, it's far, far, far more probable that this is impulsive price action to the upside. Also, you want to look at your volume. So let's turn on our volume here and look at these huge spikes in volume. So yeah, very, very probable that this is an impulsive move that is still not completed, and we have more upside on Zcash. Now, here's the thing. We're breaking out of a very key pitchfork here. These pitchforks oftentimes will give us the targets for these moves when you are this aggressive and you break out of it, watch for this, because if you get this, a back test, this might be a good long here, a local long to bring up to new highs. And by the way, if you're longing that, say we reject right now, just for the sake of argument here, we reject right now and we come back down to back test this area. What I would be doing is I'd be longing the back test, and at my TP1 would be at the highs. Just you would take 50% off as soon as you break those prior highs. As soon as you break those prior highs. Now your stop is going to go right below that the back test. So you're going to wait for a little bit of a bounce. You're probably not going to catch the exact bottom there. You want to wait for a little bit of a bounce. You want to see some local bull divs, and then you're going to put your stop underneath wherever that wick went. And then that's still, look at, a 25 to 1 risk reward ratio, but knowing that we're actually looking to come even higher and higher, you could keep holding your overall for way bigger. So kind of a good example there, the back test of the pitchfork, of a breakout of a pitchfork there. Okay, sorry, I spent a while on Zcash. We'll go through, what was the other one? Filecoin. I wanted to check Filecoin. I have some Filecoin. Okay, oh yeah, it's doing the same thing that ICP is doing. So here's the thing though, you see this volume profile at the bottom. So first of all, guys, I often talk about towards the end of aggressive moves, you get this grindy price action showing that sellers' exhaustion is starting to come in within this bigger daily trend. Sellers' exhaustion is coming in. We're starting to find a bottom, maybe an accumulation here, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, model 1 accumulation, and now you're going to start the expansion phase here. But we deviated the channel. Looks like we back tested a few times on the daily time frame. Couldn't get back in, tried to get back in, rejected, made new lows. But now we're back inside the channel. We're rejecting on the bearish backtest of the value area high in the channel midline. With this rejection, you might be able to come back and backtest these prior highs in here. So we'll look at that in just a second. But nice spike in volume here. Really nice spike in volume. And overall, we might be seeing a larger reversal coming on these coins like ICP and Filecoin. Okay, so let's grab this volume profile. I want to hide this for just a second. And of course, this we're going to have to change. Okay, very nice. There we go. And just like ICP did, guys, ICP had kind of this sideways range like this. It had an aggressive breakdown, and then it pumped. And remember, this is kind of the first day of Filecoin pump. But if you look at ICP, it pumped like this in the first day, and then the next following days, it came out and it took out the liquidity into a weekly level. Let me just show you that very, very quickly. So we're looking for something very similar. So you had that kind of grindy structure, the big drop, and then it came up and took out your kind of descending channel highs, your liquidity, and it came right up to a weekly level, and it's kind of seeing a small rejection from that weekly level, but we took out the double highs here. Actually, it was triple highs. High here, high here, high here, all semi-equal highs. It took out that liquidity. And so, and look at, you had your nice pump and then a few more days of it afterwards. So that's kind of what we could be looking at for Filecoin right now. Pretty aggressive wick to the upside right for today if we do reject today, but looks like big money starting to pile into some of these assets here, some of these privacy coins and storage coins. But yeah, I would say with Filecoin, I mean, it's at pretty much bear market lows, all-time lows pretty much. And if you're bullish on it fundamentally, I mean, we could be seeing finally this bottoming sideways range, at least a break to the upside of this range. And so let's actually pull our volume profile. And actually, I'm just going to take it from the end of this impulse down sideways. And yeah, look at that value area high golden pocket coming in there. I mean, how, and let me make sure that's the right golden pocket though. It's not. Okay, we'll pull that there. And because that is going to be a larger dump to the downside, yep, we got it based off log scale. Okay, so I would be looking, we might be able to push in the next coming weeks at least up to $5.50 to $6 here, $6.20, like this general area up here to back test the value area high of the range. First, we got to break above the, well, first we got to break back into the range, which you can see right now. We pumped up to back test the value area low in confluence with your descending channel midline. If we can flip that, then yes, because the POC is so close, we want to see kind of this rejection POC, back test value area low, hold it, and then get the push up at least to the top of the channel. If you start to break this descending channel up, I think you're going to come sweep those highs at the weekly and the SFP immediately, pretty much immediately. You're going to see a big push up there. Weekly green dot here printing. Money flow has been rising here. Now, we do not have weekly bull dibs on Market Cipher B, but we do have weekly bull dibs on NAMI. And NAMI does have the money flow overall curving to the upside on the weekly. Let's check out our daily time frame here. Daily time frame, very nice bull dibs. Look at this. Lower low, lower low, lower low. 3 lower lows, 3 higher lows on the momentum waves. Your money flow is curving to the upside on Market Cipher B. And on NAMI, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives of bull div. Money flow curving to the upside here. Yes, that last bear div did give us that last new low. But now we are seeing our 5 drives of daily bull div start to play out. And this thing could really start to push up. So if you missed out on it today, then let's see, because you might be able to get in on a retrace. And we're retracing right now. Let's go ahead and zoom in onto the 4-hour chart here. Yeah, that was a very aggressive 4-hour candle right there. That last, it looks like someone had a big buy of this thing. But what you could do is look at this small range that is developed here. We're going to pull a volume profile for that range. We're going to measure the important volume levels within that range. And I'm not going to include the breakout that just happened. But you can see how our value area high kind of aligns with our prior highs. And so now, if we do, after rejecting from this value area low of the larger range, if we do come down here and backtest this general area, value area high, point of control area, and hold it, then we could look to long that, long here to bring it up to, you know, at least take out your highs that you just created. But also, you could be holding some of it for a lot higher. And let's also pull that Fibonacci. Okay, let's grab that. Yeah, that general area, and look at the, now that we're back inside the channel, your pink descending channel here, now that we're back inside the pink descending channel, if you reject from a local resistance being that midline and that value area low, you might back test the bottom of the channel to confirm re-entry into it. So you could drop as low as that golden pocket there. But what I would say, it does look like, at least locally, wave 1, wave 2, you're in your big explosive third wave right now, 4 or 5. We want to see, now the 5's probably not going to go that high, but 4 or 5 here. You want to see something, you know, maybe coming up to the top of the channel here. It does look like this has more push to the upside here. 4-hour bull div, no, not bull divs, excuse me. No 4-hour bull divs, but we did have 4-hour bull divs here. Lower lows, higher lows here, money flow coming to the upside. It looks good to continue. If you do come back down to that value area high around 170 and point of control, I would say from 170 to 160 could be a good long entry zone if we're back testing it. And then you could bring that up to take out your highs at 222, possibly coming up to 241. But this looks really nice here. And this is starting to happen with a bunch of these coins that were in these kind of, we were in a accumulation here, like kind of this was starting to be accumulation, a bottom was forming, but then of course the big market crash caused one last major low, get everyone completely wrecked and selling the asset at the bottom, and then guess what? You start to have your expansion phase and push up much higher. So for me, this looks good, and I did buy some spot. I think I remember telling you guys this when we were in this range here. So let me hide this bigger volume profile, and I'll turn on this guy. When we were in this range here, I bought some around the POC. So I'm underwater on that right now, but I'm comfortable holding this long term if I need to. It's spot. It's not leverage. It's not anything like that. So okay, compound the small wins. Let the trades come to you. Yep. Yeah. Please keep going. You got this. Casper Crew and Divine will steer you. Yeah, thank you, C-Train. Yeah, just keep going, I would say. I would just recommend keep going. Missed it again. Catch you soon. Massey33, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I'm in trading from 2017. Didn't know shit till last year. Divine, will you give the best lessons to understand this candle stuff? Will you give the best lessons to understand this candle stuff? Just listen to him. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that comment, man. Thank you for being here. And awesome that you're in here trading and doing your thing. And TRX0101, welcome in, man. What token is this? I come back, win Bitcoin. Oh, that was Filecoin. I did Bitcoin at the beginning, and we're going to go check Bitcoin out in a second, too. Yeah, it is. Andrew, it is awesome when you get the right levels and you see it respect absolutely perfect. It's amazing. Okay, we'll look at time attack. We're definitely look at Chainlink. Yep, previous areas. Okay, cool. Everything. Yeah, by tomorrow they'll be up 10%, right? Can we please look at Sapien coin pumped like crazy? Yes, we'll look at Sapien coin. False Prophet, welcome in. Guys, False Prophet is the creator of Nami. Really, really awesome indicator. Welcome in, False Prophet. Thank you for being here. Hope you are doing well, man. We'll check ETH as well. Actually, I'm going to go into ETH, and then we'll go into Portal and some of the other altcoins in there. But I wanted to show you guys something on ETH real quick that was really important. So on Ethereum, first of all, we were looking at this big pitchfork, right? We bounced from our 4-year long range value area low. That's a 4-year long range. If we zoom out, you can see it goes all the way back to May of 2021. It's a range that formed after a very, very aggressive impulse to the upside. And now for 4 years, we've kind of been finding the fair value within this zone between 1,000, 1,500 and 4,000. And after breaking out of the range and coming in and hitting the top of the pitchfork, we saw this range form that looked like a distribution range. It honestly did look like a distribution range up here. You can see bearish divergences, money flow draining out of the asset as the range forms. Very, very clear to me, and I said this before we just started to distribute, that it looked like a distribution range. Now, I was hoping that we would get that bounce from the value area high and make one more 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we didn't. We invalidated that by hitting the golden pocket. What was that, on Tuesday? And so now we are at the macro support of the golden pocket. It's a golden pocket. It's the value area high of the 4-year long range on Bybit, not Coinbase. Bybit's 4-year long value area high is lower at 3,100. And you can see it's our major pitchfork midline. It's our anchored VWAP from the $1,400 lows. And it is pitchfork midline, anchored VWAP, value area high, golden pocket as well. If we pull a golden pocket from our last major lows to the highs, you can see golden pockets right there as well. So macro support in this area, but because I think that we could see one more low. And let me show you a channel that I have on this thing. So I'll delete this. I'm going to hide our pitchfork for a second here, and we're going to look at our logarithmic channel. No, not that one. Here we go. This channel here. Now, I'm just going to hide these volume profiles for a second. In our bull market, our entire bull market since the June of 2022, since the bear market ended, you can see that we have been grinding very nicely within this ascending channel. For most, instead of Bitcoin going straight up like Bitcoin did, it went kind of sideways and up for years in this channel. So our trend was this channel. When we broke the channel down, of course, we made new lows. We took out major liquidity, and then we saw another push up. But we pushed up to back test, and we were able to re-enter back within the channel. We came up to the channel midline, saw a rejection, took the all-time high, saw a rejection of the midline of the channel. But this is what's important. On the crash that happened, we held the channel overall. We got that range, and now we're breaking down the channel again. And the second breakdown of the channel, yes, you did break down very aggressively from the channel here, but we could break down just as aggressive or even more aggressive now, unfortunately. And if we zoom in on this channel and we look at our 2-hour time frame, what did we see here after losing the channel? This is what is scary here. We lost the channel, back tested it, and that's when we got our huge crash. Once we had the bearish back test and confirmed a rejection of that log channel, boom, aggressive dump to the downside. So, because we are at macro support, I do think we could still form another low, a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, wave 4, and one more low. But overall, this general area that we're at right now is telling me that we could see, a double bottom here, or sort of the ending of the impulse with one more new low, and then we could get a bigger move, a bigger push up, at least to test, maybe the highs of this range in here at about, what is that? 4,200, 4,300. So we'll see how that plays out. First, I want to make one more new low. But Ethereum right now is bouncing from our local golden pocket support. It's also right around your anchored VWAP from those $1,400 lows. Very key anchored VWAP. Let's pull our golden pocket. We haven't quite made it down to your golden pocket yet. I think that we might be able to continue dropping a little bit lower here. And I know we did have a naked daily point of control that we hit. Let me turn those on. Yeah, hit a naked daily point of control. And then there was also a daily level within here. Yeah, the daily level we already busted through was at 32.85-ish. So what I'm saying is that I do expect us to keep dropping here because we don't have real bull divs yet. Money flow looks pretty bearish here. 2 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour money flow looks pretty bearish. And look at how nice this would set up, guys. If we got one more low here, look at how this would set up here. Nice bull divs. Nice triple drive of bull divs here. And if we do something like this with the money flow, we would have bull divs on the money flow. So you would have your setup, the premier setup that I love the most. Money flow and momentum divs on NAMI, while we have momentum divs and money flow bottoming out on Market Cipher B into support. That is the trade that plays out so much for me when I see those confirmations in that order. So I want to make one more new low. And it could be just as simple as taking out that low. If we go back to this, we turn on our pitchfork back on. Let's see, where was it? Here, we got that pitchfork back on. And we look at that 4-year long range value area high for Bybit. Let's see, is that the one? That's not the one, but right there. Yeah, we're right around there. So, I mean, it's macro support as far as Bybit goes. Now, remember, I follow Coinbase volume levels more than Bybit. And Coinbase value area high of the 4-year long range is at 3,500. We're underneath it. You can see we're significantly underneath it right now. Let me just get rid of some of this local stuff. Significantly underneath it. If we close this weekly candle underneath it, it's not going to look good. And I do pay attention to Coinbase levels more than Bybit. And if that's the case, we did reject from the top of this pitchfork. And if we start to lose our upper band, guess what? You expect a move down to the midline. Midline's coming in right around that 2,700. Let's see here. Yeah, right around 27 to 2750-ish or so. And I do believe we have some key support down there as well. Let's see, monthlies. Monthlies at 2,500. We have a daily at 28. I don't like that's not so important for me. We do have a naked weekly point of control that was not hit yet, right below us. Now, it might have been on other exchanges. Let's actually just check this. It's still naked. So, you know how I just said we want to make one more low? Coming down and just SFPing the lows into that naked weekly, actually touching that naked weekly, would be a nice finish here. A double bottom of sorts. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just hitting that naked weekly, SFPing the lows, and then you could see your bigger 3-wave corrective move up. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Ethereum to finish. We need to finish this impulse down, in my opinion. And once we do, we could get a bigger push to the upside. So I'll be looking at double bottoms. Actually, let's just set an alert here right now on this naked weekly. SFP long, because it's going to be an SFP of that low into that naked weekly. Okay. Yeah, we'll do Chainlink here. Let's do Chainlink right now. I will do Portal for whoever asked for that. Whimsy Trades, welcome in, man, and thank you for catching the live. And we will do Sapien Coin as well, Liberty and Trust. We definitely will do that. Every coin pumped hard, got a 25% move. It's crazy. Don't know. Should leave it and write it like Zcash or should close. Well, watch Nick Hill, watch market structure, man. On Zcash, keep riding it until you break low time frame market structure. Once you break market structure bearishly, go ahead and close that out. But until then, keep riding it. Now, guys, Chainlink is at a macro support level where I do think we could see a significant bounce from here. The thing with Chainlink here is if we're looking at the push from this looks like a 1-2, 1-2, and then we have our big third wave down. We had a triangle and a wave 4. This is your wave 5 here. It looks like we need one more 4-5 here. And so even if we're looking at this this last 5 here, we're expecting some sort of bounce in a wave 4 up to the local 382 or 0.5 Fibonacci. So let's go in here and let's pull a Fibonacci from the highs of wave 4 to the lows of wave 5. And we'll look at that retracement between the 382 and the 0.5. Now, let's also look at our triangle range that formed. Let's look at our volume profile within this triangle. Look at where your value area low is, right around that 0.5 Fibonacci. So for me, we might be able to get a bounce coming up to this general area in the next couple of days, week, before seeing one more low. And then that's going to be your really nice area. The thing is, we don't want to go too much lower. If you're seeing one more fifth wave down, you definitely don't want to start closing weekly candles underneath this pitchfork. Because if we do, in a very bearish scenario for Chainlink, we could come all the way down to 992. And I talked about this in Tuesday's live stream and in yesterday's video. But right now, we're holding that macro support. It's your 2-year long range. You see from November 2023, we're in November of 2025. So 2-year long range, we're at the point of control of the range, which is considered fair value. And remember, the big guys are willing to buy an asset at fair value if they're bullish on it long term. If you're bullish on it, if you go into a jewelry store and you like a watch, you think that watch is fair priced, you will buy it because you, first off, think it's going to appreciate in value over time, but also you like owning that asset. So we're at fair value. We're at absolute fair value of the past 2 years of Chainlink. We might see some buyers stepping in down here. It's also the macro support of our macro trend. Support. Is it going to be support again? Now, I would like to say on these last 2 ones, we wick past it a little bit. Are we going to see another wick past just a little bit to make one more new low and then kind of start to see that push up to our resistance? And let's zoom in on lower time frames. We'll take a look at what's happening locally here. Man, everything is setting up for nice bull divs if we just take out the lows from Tuesday. If we can take out the low from Tuesday, nice bull divs are forming here. Money flow coming up. Bull divs forming. Money flow. Let's look at our 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour money flow doesn't look it's kind of still looking bad, and it's coming out pretty aggressively on markets on NAMI here. So what we want to see is one more low being made. It would give us the bull divs on momentum. By then, hopefully, money flow would kind of be bottoming out here. And look at, we have money flow. We could have money flow bull divs, and then we would also have bull divs here, and we might get one more drive of bull divs here. So coming and taking out that low. And if you're looking at trading that, set an alert on this low, not that low, this low at 13.69. Set an alert there. And once you take out that low, as soon as you reclaim it, you can enter long. Okay, you're not going to set a limit there and hope that it bounces there. You're going to wait until it wicks past it, because we don't know how long that wick is going to be past it. It could wick all the way down here. But once you reclaim that, let's just say it's that larger wick. Once you reclaim it, you're going to put your stop below that wick, and you're going to be targeting up. I'd be targeting this purple box up here. That's a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade, just for a position that could reverse and make one more macro fifth wave. Seeing, this is a 4, this is a 5. We have one more 4 and one more 5. Now, I do have to say, in the very bearish scenario, we could drop to that $10 range. I talked about this on Tuesday. It was our macro logarithmic golden pocket, pulled from the bear market lows up to the cycle highs of this cycle. You can see that is your golden pocket on the logarithmic chart at 992 to 935. The reason why I still think we could come down there, because in our multi-month crash to the downside from January all the way through April, we had front run it. You can see that we had front run it by mere cents, and we had front run our liquidity by mere cents. And the reason, even though this is an internal high here, this liquidity grab is important, because look at that imbalance candle that was created right after. Giant imbalance candle. So you saw a lot of longs stepping in at this area in here, and longs. So now a lot of long-term traders are going to have their stop losses below that low, because a lot of longs came in there. So that's why, even though it's an internal liquidity level, it's a very important liquidity level. And now it's a double bottom, pretty much a double bottom between these two lows here. So in the very bearish scenario, we might break this down, back test it, come down, and then start to see your big move up. But I'll tell you what, if we get down to 992, I am going to be buying like crazy. Hopefully we're seeing bull divs there. Mark Dutch, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you. Okay, let's see. What was the other one? We'll do Portal right now. Let me check Bitcoin before we do Portal. We'll check Bitcoin, and then we'll check some of the other coins. Yeah, we're kind of just slowly grinding down here, guys. Golden Pocket didn't give us much of a bounce. That's the thing. And still locally, if we zoom in here, like 12-minute chart, our VWAP is kind of rejecting us throughout the day. You can see this. VWAP, rejection. Tried to get above it, fake out. Now we had the real dump after the fake out. We front ran it right here, but pretty much a rejection again. So we're probably just going to keep trending until we can break that VWAP. But also, we're not printing any bull divs. We're printing actually multiple drives of hidden bear div. And I think the hidden bear div is going to give us that continuation to the downside. Hidden bear div is a continuation pattern after all. Once again, taking out the lows would be so nice. 4-hour time frame. Give us that nice bull divs. First of all, it would give us that 1, 2, 3, 4, one more low, potentially all the way down to 96.5. It would give us nice bull divs on the chart. Hopefully by then, money flow would start to be bottoming out, coming to the upside. But this is what's important. NAMI, bull divs, money flow coming to the upside. So when we see momentum bull divs and money flow and momentum bull divs here into macro support after the end of an impulse, I mean, it's setting up so nicely. Portal. Ooh. Okay, so it looks like we did reject the last resistance that we laid out on this thing. Value area high, golden pocket. We rejected that resistance. We came down, made new lows, rejected the midline of our bigger channel, made new lows, and now we're attempting I don't like this wick, and I'll tell you why I don't like that wick. Because what happened is after making new lows, and let me pull this volume profile all the way. You can see we wicked up to take out the range highs. This is our range, our volume profile, right here of this small range. And what happened after taking out the golden pocket, making new lows, rejecting from the channel midline, making new lows, we pumped to take out your range highs, and now we're right back down there. So you took out the liquidity and you stopped all the late shorters out, and then now we're continuing short here, continuing to drop here. This channel is a very, very aggressive descending channel on the daily time frame. And this thing, I mean, I don't know what this asset is, and I don't know why this. I guess I pulled it from this listing high to this lower high to this low. I mean, it is being respected. I am actually going to adjust this. I don't know if I like that channel. I would rather pull it from the lows here to that. Let's see. Let's try. No, we'll pull it to this high here. Yeah, I mean, look at this one's respected nicely too. So if we look at this channel, yeah, still have the same sort of respect on this thing, and rejected the midline golden pocket value area high in that purple box that we laid out, and now we're dumping here. I don't know if we're going to make it all the way down to this 786 golden pocket area, but we could. I have no idea what this coin is, but it's just, it looks to me almost like a scam, because you had your initial pump, and ever since then it's just been dying, slowly dying here. On the daily time frame, well, actually, you're not even really seeing bull divs on the daily time frame. Money flows coming out on the daily time frame. On NAMI, it is rolling over again. NAMI is showing some local bull divs on the daily. Lower lows here, higher lows here, but it's not enough for me. I want to see market cipher B's money flow start to bottom out here. And because we haven't made it down to your golden pocket from this low up to your dead cat bounce highs, now we can actually re-pull that golden pocket though. Let me get rid of these, and we're going to re-pull this golden pocket because we made a new high. So we'll take that from the lows to your new high. We're going to turn on our golden pocket, and we're going to put it on, let's see if that's more than 100%. Yeah, that's 365% move. So we have to use a log scale here, guys. Yeah, golden pocket coming in there. And even potentially your 786 as well. 786 actually looks really nice. If you're going to continue grinding down, now this is a daily time frame, so this could take some time. But say you're going to see something like that. To me, this area right here would be a really nice long opportunity. And even to take it up to your midline. You'd want to see bull divs continuing as you're developing that. You'd want to see those bull divs continuing, money flow starting to come up, and you'd want to see the bull divs on NAMI as well. But for me, locally right now, as far as Portal goes, like I first of all wouldn't trade this with a low amount of liquidity there. Much better coins to trade as far as that goes. But you could pull this volume profile here, and you could just trade the volume profile. You're below the value area low. I mean, we rejected the value area high. At the time, it was the value area high. Value area high, golden pocket, channel midline. No matter which channel you use, if you use the old channel or the new channel. Okay, I actually like this new channel better. But now if you pull that range, you can see we're underneath the value area low. We lost the value area low. Back tested it, made a new low, made another new low, took out the range highs, and now we're right back underneath it, kind of grinding. I mean, shoot, you could even pull a volume profile of this price action underneath. You could even zoom in even further, pull this volume profile here, and just trade this. For me, I wouldn't even be interested in that. What I would be interested in is making some bull divs. So if you're going to continue this grind down and take out that low and have some bull divs in here, you might be able to long an SFP of that low, but from that, for me, I would definitely never trade this thing with it. Constant downtrend. I would be waiting for at least a larger range to form, a sideways range, not a downward range. Okay, Sapien coin. Let me Liberty in Trust, Sapien coin. Let me just check to see if I have. Okay, it doesn't look like it. Ooh, it's a newer coin. I mean, it's pushing. There's not much we can look at here, but you might be in an impulse to the upside. Here's the thing, because you have overlap between these two levels, if you're looking at an impulse, it has to be a 1 2 1 2, and this is your third wave, and then you're going to see a 4 5 4 5 here, kind of that channel that you get towards the end, that exhaustive channel. Yeah, money flow starting to round off here. Momentum wave on Nami starting to round off here. Yeah, you did have some nice bull divs. 4 drives of bull div as you were coming down into this low here. But what I would be doing is I'd be looking at this. Gosh, you could trade the whole thing as a range. I wouldn't include the listing price. I would include from that first low over. You're breaking the value. See, so you bounce from your value area low. You're breaking above your value area high. So what you could look at now is on a retrace here. Like if we have our 1-2s, 1 2 1 2 third wave, back testing that value area high could be a bottom, and then you could look for your 4 5s in here. Let's also pull a Fibonacci, and I want to pull a Fibonacci from the lows to the highs, and we're going to look at that macro 382. Where's that? And we're going to put it on log scale. Dang. Okay. I mean, that's also a nice level because you can see it is a nice support resistance flip. Let me just pull this over sideways. Support, resistance, 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 resistance. So now it might act as support again. Nice little support resistance flip area. So like 1895-ish. But if we're looking at our third wave here, and we're looking at our wave 4 targets, I didn't mean to lock that. Yeah, between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci are your targets. And let's turn on and look at where your 0.5 Fibonacci is, right at your value area high. So in terms of an impulsive price, impulse to the upside, a 1 2 1 2, if this is the end of your third wave and you're getting your fourth wave pullback, your target is between the 0.382 and the 0.5. Get one more 5, one more 4, one more 5, either a contracting diagonal to end it or a channel. So 25 cents, and if you break 25, that 18.95. Those are the two levels I'd be looking at. Or like 19, what 18.95, 19, 25, and then 19. Yeah, it looks like a pretty new coin though. Just going to ban myself. Oh my gosh, time attack. No, don't do that, please. Making a brew, you anyone want a cup? I'd take a cup from you. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, okay. If tahini on toast with garlic and herbs got listed on Binance today. I see. It's an AI play. Awesome. Okay, well, AI, we know that AI is bound to pop off again. But it is a bubble. I'm telling you, AI is definitely a bubble, and we are going to see some sort of correction. But overall, long term, I think AI is a good play. Okay, we did Chainlink, we did Ethereum, we did Portal, we did whatever the other Zcash. Let's see. I will look at there was another one I was just looking. Sui, we can look at Sui for sure. So Sui here is at its macro support level, coming into that lower pitchfork band. But like I described in yesterday's video, I would actually like to come a little bit lower on Sui to SFP that low into the bottom of the band. We might see a quick bounce before, though. It looks like, okay, so check this out. You'll have all your 1-2s in here, your descending channel. 1 2 1 2 1 2. You have a triple 1 2. You have your big third wave. 4 5. So now we need 2 more 4 5s, like another 4. So we could get a push up from this area still, and then a 5 4 5, something like that coming down. And we might even come down, unfortunately, all the way to the bottom of the pitchfork. But if you're looking at that multiple 1 2 impulse, but if we zoom in on some of the lower time frames, and let me turn off some of the levels on this chart. Yeah, kind of the same thing though here. I don't like how this looks more three-wave corrective here. Three, four, five, four. We're at our macro support level, and we are starting to develop potential nice bull divs, but we're not there yet. We have to take out our low in order to get those bull divs. Money flow still looks pretty bearish. Let's check our local golden pocket. I think that's where we're bouncing from right now. Yeah, local golden pocket is kind of where we're bouncing from right now. But just like Bitcoin, I'm not expecting much from it. What I would like to do is come take out that low. Even if you can SFP that low and then get, as soon as you get back above that pitchfork band, you could look for a long. And in that case, you could be looking at that bigger fourth wave corrective move before seeing another 5 4 5 type of thing. And like you see, this is your first 3-wave corrective move in a 4. And then in order to get a 5, you have to take out this low. So this is considered our first 5. We need 2 more 4 5s down to the downside. 4-hour money flow looks pretty bearish. And it would be so nice, guys, if we could just take out that low, because look at the bull divs that would be developing here. But if we bounce before and this starts to come up here, our last hope is that we get a quick flush down and make a third drive of bull div, SFPing that low. Until then, I'm not looking to take anything on this, but I would say, I'm expecting some sort of bounce from this general area here, because these are macro support and resistance levels of the pitchfork. And if we just zoom out here, I mean, like, look how nice these pitchforks work. You were holding the upper band for quite a while. You lost it. You were holding the midline for quite a while. But once you lost it, if I zoom in now back onto the 2-hour time frame, once we lost that midline, look at that. Lost the midline, 1 back test, 2 back tests, 3 back tests, 4 back tests, drop. And where did you drop to? Exactly your lower band. The liquidity grab at 171 into the bottom of the band is super nice, and I think I already have an alert set there. If I don't, we will fix that right now. I don't. Okay, so this. Swing failure pattern, long position there. And off, what we could see too is kind of this grind that forms in here, and then the boom. Bring it right up to your midline. If BTC loses 100K, it will go below 98 this time. Yeah, I think so, TRX 0101, and I want it to. XPL. Yeah, we'll look at XPL. And Nikhil, we'll look at a couple of these. I'll look at like QNT and Trump, AR. Okay, we'll try to look at a couple of those there. How about those Binance BSC family coins? Okay, yeah, they are doing pretty well here. Cody was given the green light. Koi was given the green light a little bit ago by changing the max level. It was just a few hundred yesterday. Today, they crank it up to 16K. Wow. Andrew, can I explain how a swing failure pattern works? Absolutely, I can. And that's a really, really great question. So as we know, the number one thing the market is ran off of is what's called liquidity. Okay, now liquidity is where, like, we have traders that trade in markets, right? They long levels of support, they short levels of resistance. So say we're coming down to a level of support, you have a macro swing low there, a low. Now, people that long that low or anywhere near that low, if you're a technical trader, when you long that, let's just say we longed, we longed like right where my yellow line is there. You're going to put your stop below the low, because what your trading plan is that, you know, you're going to see a reversal here. So, and we'd probably be targeting the liquidity at the highs here, you know, these highs here. You know, that's an 8.92 risk reward. You'd leave some open just in case, or you'd be targeting the range value area high of this range. So what you're looking for in a liquidity grab is there's stops that are resting below that low. There's liquidity, people that will get stopped out of their positions. That means they're forced to close their trade. And so as you're coming down to that liquidity level, you pierce that level. It's if it was going to continue, you would dump and you'd continue dumping. But the market makers like to hunt retail liquidity, like traders like me and you. So what they do is they'll drop the market down to stop them out of their positions, to fake out a dump to the downside, and then they reverse price, and then they see they'll, you know, it's fuel for their long positions as well. In this case, it's fuel for their long positions. So the way you trade a swing failure pattern is you want the candle, and generally you're looking on lower time frames, you know, hourly or under, depends on what type of swing failure pattern is. But for this large one here, I would be looking on, like, even if we got an hourly swing failure pattern, I would take it. So as we're coming down here, we want to pierce the level, break below it, because you want to stop out those stops that are below it. Then the second you reclaim that level, you can look to enter a long position. You're entering long upon the reclaim of the level, not the first time you touch it, because it might be not an SFP. You might just keep dropping here. And then so you long upon the reclaim of that level, your stop goes below wherever that wick went, the new low is going to be, and then you'll be targeting, you know, local, as your TPs, you'll be targeting local resistances above, and maybe leave some to run for bigger resistances. So for instance, in this case, you know, I would be targeting up at this 237 level. Swing, you have a golden pocket up there, you have a daily level up there, and it's the back test of your pitchfork midline. And of course, that golden pocket will change if we make new lows, but we would look at that when the time comes. But the way you trade a swing failure pattern, what it is, it's a liquidity grab. It's stopping out traders, and then the market will reverse position. And it's those stopped out traders are also used as fuel to push the price up. And so pierce the level, reclaim the level. Most people, like 15-minute is a good time frame to look for a swing failure pattern. If you want to be aggressive, 5-minute, 3-minute, 1 minute. You also generally it would be nice to see bull divs as you're coming down here within this zigzag correction. You went on to see some low time frame bull divs in here as you were coming down to pierce that level. Now, the best swing failure patterns is when you swing fail it into a support level. So you can see the bottom of our pitchfork band is here. If we kind of grind in here for a bit, come swing fail that into that bottom pitchfork band, super nice. Or anytime you see a liquidity, that's called a liquidity grab. Swing failure pattern, liquidity grab, it's the same term. But like, for instance, of this upper range here, say we're going to range now on SUI between the band and the midline for quite a while. We're going to range between the band and the midline. So now we know we have some liquidity that is resting up here above all these semi-equal highs. You could throw, you have your liquidity grab here into a golden pocket. So anytime you see a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, that's a really good setup that plays out a lot of the time. And just liquidity into support or resistance is really good. Liquidity grabs. Okay. Just review. Yeah, sound shouldn't be dropping, but BTC's dumping. Okay, let's check BTC real quick, guys. I want to see if we take out those lows. I guess, yeah, it's dumping. We still haven't taken out the low from earlier today, but that golden pocket didn't give us much of a bounce. I didn't expect it to. So basically, order grab for fuel plus confirmations for reversal. Yes, yeah, Andrew, that's what it is. It's really just a stopping. Like, for instance, this is a good example of this. Earlier today, we had traders, including Jason, some other traders that attempted a long position from this golden pocket. But even when Jason posted that he was longing earlier today, it wicked past the golden pocket. Once it started to bounce from the golden pocket, he said, I'm going to long this golden pocket. We're bouncing from the 786. And what you do now is you say you long this golden pocket earlier today, and I guarantee you this is where Jason stop loss is at. If he longed this golden pocket earlier today, his stop is now going to go below that wick low. Because the idea of the trade, setup is that you're bouncing from a golden pocket and you're going to come take out these highs. You're going to make a new high and continue this overall higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows of bullish market structure. And so what you would be doing if you longed the golden pocket earlier today, your stop is going to go below that low. And now you're shooting for new highs. You probably have a TP1 at these highs here, maybe a TP2 up at 107, and so now on that, and here's the thing, if your trade plan is wrong, you want to get out as soon as possible. So the second we break those lows, his trading plan was wrong, he's automatically getting out of the trade. Now it could be that we're just going to SFP it, see kind of a double bottom here for the day, and then see a move up. And unfortunately, he would just have to re-enter the trade. But that's how market makers hunt retail, hunt people that are trading, especially locally. Local SFPs are really good too, within a range. Range lows, range highs are really good. SFP range lows, SFP range highs. Okay. I do want to check AR. Man, I know I have a coin for AR. Or a chart. Yeah. Here we go. Man, that 886 did bounce us, but we obviously dropped much further. So I haven't done AR in quite a while. We were looking at, so we have a couple things here. We have a big channel, big blue channel. It looks like, bouncing from kind of the bottom of it. I mean, this crash was just crazy. But we were also looking at this descending channel in here. So it looks like you could have some 1-2s. This is your big third wave. And now we're looking for some 4-5s in here to finish this out. Let's see. We got to get rid of some of this. But what I can see here on the daily time frame, you're starting to form a bottoming range here. So let me just hide this channel. And you can see we're starting to form a bottoming range here. So we're going to pull the volume profile for that bottom range. Yeah, obviously the big wick and the crash, but you can see now we're holding the value area low, mini tests, and we're breaking above the POC. We could come up to this value area high at $7. Now let's look at our important golden pockets. So you're going to pull a golden pocket from your range high, which is actually this guy here, to the low. And your golden pocket is coming up. Let me see if that is more than a 30% drop, because if it is, and it is, it's an 85% drop. Jesus Christ. We're going to put that on log scale. Okay. No, I don't like that golden pocket, though. I know Binance wicked a lot. Let's see if we have a better exchange here. Bybit did the same thing. Wow, that was a long time ago. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to check our important volume levels within this range. So we have a naked daily point, a naked weekly point of control right at your value area high. Very important. Naked weekly point of control at value area high. That is for sure going to be the resistance area. At $7, pretty much. $6.99, $7. And I bet you our 382 or our 786, excuse me. 786 is a little bit above that. Naked daily points of controls now. We're just going to check our volume levels. Yeah, and you have a naked daily and a naked, two naked dailies right there in that general area. So what I would say is this is your kind of resistance area between the two naked dailies. I would say the $7 area exactly is more important because your value area high of your range is also there. Now, here's the thing. We do need to, after this dump, we do need to watch for an aggressive three-wave move up. And if we get a three-wave corrective move up after this dump ended, you might just continue kind of right back down here. And possibly even coming below that low. The thing is, this wick on many altcoins was the most aggressive wick in history of altcoins. Like, 70-80% dumps in a single 2 hours or whatever it was. So a little bit unprecedented, but it is the TA. I would say that you are starting to find some bottom here. You're starting to find some seller's exhaustion. And this is a good sign. Now we want to see some bull divs coming in. Unfortunately, because of this wick, we're not going to see bull divs, but let's just pretend, let's go by the line chart or the candle body closes, right? So if we're going by the candle body closes, we're excluding that wick. You can see here, we do have some very nice bull divs on the chart. 1, 2, 3, 4 lower lows in the price action. 1, 2, 3, 4 higher lows in the momentum waves. And then look at NAMI, multiple drives of bull div on the daily time frame. Now, on the daily time frame, your money flow is bottomed out and is starting to come to the upside here. On NAMI, you're crossing already into the green on the upside. So I would say that this move up could give us at least a move up to $7 to the value area high of our local range. And then if you can break that, then you're really in business. After that, you would be looking at taking out kind of your range highs, which would be either this 895, or I would even say this high up here at like $10, $10.40. That's the important liquidity levels. But I would say this 895 is the first guy because it's pretty much a double top here. You can see the high and then pretty much the same exact high. So you have twice the liquidity up there. If you do get above it, see that liquidity grab, you might now come back test the value area high and flip it to support. So we'll see how that works out over the next couple of weeks here. But that's what I would be looking at for AR. And then let's go on to the weekly time frame here. On the weekly time frame, yeah, no bull divs, unfortunately. No bull divs here. Even excluding the wick. Like, say we were excluding the wick, we would want to see these lower lows in here, and we would want to see, actually, never mind, it's like equal or very, very slight weekly bull divs. But your money flow, it is bottoming right now, but I'd want to see a little bit more here. And it's very, very slight bull divs. You'd want to see a little bit better than that. I'd say worst case scenario was we could keep dropping a little bit further and hit the bottom of the channel again around, at 220 to like 210, depending on when we come down to hit it. I mean, we could also pull a macro pitchfork here. And I would look at a modified. So there's your pitchfork. Yeah, look at where that wick ended at the bottom pitchfork band. So this is, let me hide this channel for a second, and we will look at this pitchfork here. I mean, this is an original pitchfork, so a very aggressive downtrend. And you do have to say this has been aggressive, but I mean, just look at on the weekly, this is a weekly time frame. Look at how nice this upper band kind of held this support through here. Then we lost it. Once we lost it, we came up, we back tested it, multiple weeks of trying to break back above it. It flipped from support to resistance. By the way, in between that, your pitchfork midline held. You got that nice, like, kind of triple bottom in here, inverse head and shoulders, or whatever you want to call it, model 2 distribution, accumulation. And then when, with the wick, you dump to the lower band here. But what I would say here now is let's zoom in onto the daily and let's look at where that pitchfork channel is coming in. So we do have from our range highs to the lows of the wick, the golden pocket is going to be right where that pitchfork band starts. It's 626-ish or so, right around this general area. I would say I like this purple box more right up there because also, let me just hide this for a second. Also, the liquidity. Look at this high right before the aggressive dump. So maybe you had some people shorting in here, very big in profit, short to the downside. Those stops could still be above that high there. So SFPing that high into that box would be nice to see. It's also within your pitchfork band, and you can see many times you don't exactly reject perfectly from the pitchfork band. You'll kind of wick into it a bit. But overall premise is that this band is now a big form of resistance in here. Just like it was here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Now bounce from midline, resistance. I mean, we didn't bounce from midline. We bounced from the lower band, but okay, that's it for AR. Let's go. Let me read the chat here. XPL. We'll do XPL. Humble Eddie 1669, welcome in, man. It's good to see you. How much do we bet we pump at the closing bell? Man, we could pump for a little bit and we could range in over the weekend, but I do think new lows are coming. Polymarket exchanges. Okay, yeah. Okay. Is Cody, we'll look, Ludong, we'll look at Koi in a second here. I lost my spot in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on here. Massey33, thank you for being here. And Andrew, absolutely, you're welcome. French Toaster, welcome in, man. And thank you for the subs. I appreciate you. And really, thank you for joining us. First time seeing the stream in my feed. Awesome. Well, I'm super glad you're here, French Toaster. Okay. You got Jason to say tabernacle today. You just got me to say it too. Yeah, Travi Trades, I am thinking about a Discord. I like this Telegram setup with BYDFI, but I am thinking about also opening a Telegram or a Discord. Okay, yeah, I know. Mark Dutch, there really is nothing we can do here. So the thing I would say with this XPR, it just looks like garbage. The one thing I could say here is it looks like you're in an impulse down. A wave 1, a wave 2, that's your big wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. You could be ending it soon, and then you could be about to see a 3-wave corrective move up to your golden pocket. Now this is a little bit it's from a listing though. So your highs up here are from a listing, so you don't know, but look at where that golden pocket's coming in. It is coming in right where your support resistance flip is. You can see support resistance flip, like one of the only support resistance flips on the chart. But yeah, really, there's not much you could do here. If I was trading this, I would be looking at pulling a volume profile after the crash ended and over, and just look at this range here. Yeah, I mean, you bounce from value area low. If you do make it up to this value area high again, and I bet you that's the golden pocket of this move. Yeah, golden pocket's right around the value area high. You have some liquidity up there. So your first take profit area would be generally this area here. And then, of course, the lows. This could be the absolute low of the move. Let's just look really quickly here at your wave 5 target. So if this was the end of wave 3, this was your move up to wave 4, and we're looking for a wave 5. You can pull your Fibonacci from the lows of 3 to the highs of 4. You look at your wave 5 targets, and we'll set that based on Fib log scale. So you might not be there yet. You're going to be looking to come down to the 1.236 to the 1.618. You probably did bounce from your 1-to-1 correction. It looks like you're bouncing from your 1-to-1 correction zone. And then you're looking in your 5th wave. Do we have, a 5 wave down? 1, 2, this is maybe a 3 here, a 4, and then you have one more to come down and a 5. So look at around that 20-cent area you could bounce, or maybe even aggressively coming down to that 15-cent area. But this is setting up nicely here on the 2-hour time frame. You have the lower lows, you have the higher lows, you have your money flow coming up here. If you can get one more low into that 1.236 and see another drive of bull div with this money flow continuing to come up here, I think that 20-cent area might be a good long area. So just be aware of that. Okay, COAI. All right, here we go. Wow. Wow. Gosh, I don't know what this is, but I mean, you could be coming to fill in this big fair value gap in here. Looks like you're hitting the 50% spot of that fair value gap. You saw a bounce from the 50% of that fair value gap. Yeah, right exactly at the 50% mark of that fair value gap. You hit it. You're seeing a little bounce from that. There's not much we can look at here either, though, guys. Like, this is pretty aggressive. Actually, damn. Okay. I mean, we can look at our bearish trend here. You might get a move up to the top of this to actually hit this pitchfork band up here. But there's not too much you could say here, honestly. And if anything, like this is really high to retrace for a wave 2, a wave 1, a wave 2. This could all be a wave 3, and you could be in a wave 4 before seeing a wave 5 down. But the thing is your wave 2 retracing pretty much up to the highs. I bet you that's your 0.9 Fibonacci. It's not likely. This is probably was some sort of flat in here. But then you really end your flat after taking out that low, so we can't even say that. Yeah, the bull dibs we were seeing in here are starting to look nice. All these lower lows, all these higher lows in here. Look at all these higher lows in here for bull dibs, and now your money flow starting to curve up. So this pump, these wicks, but it looks like a very low liquidity asset, because look at, you get a giant wick up, and then it just gets dropped right back down. So you could be seeing a giant wick up and then a new drop right back down. What I would be waiting for, I wouldn't even consider trading or even buying this spot until this downtrend stops and you start literally going sideways here, starting to form a bottoming range. That means selling is getting exhausted and you're finding a floor here. You want to wait until a floor starts. Now, once a floor starts, you can pull your volume profile for that floor. Obviously, it's not going to go all the way. Pull your volume profile and then find your levels within that volume profile, golden pockets, naked daily points of controls, value area high, value area low. And then you could look to long those liquidity grabs, But other than that, I wouldn't be even looking to trade or buy this thing until you start to until you start to get some exhaustion. Yeah, there's nothing here to look at, guys, like really. No naked weekly points of controls. Here's the thing, you could come all the way back down to like kind of test these, fill in this fair value gap in here. Let's see, is that fair value gap filled in? Yeah. If you continue grinding down until the bottom band here, 43, 44 cents. But there's not, yeah, I would just be patient and wait for this thing. This thing honestly could come all the way back down to take out the lows. We've seen many coins that just keep grinding below their lows. Samuel's still walking around in his undies. Dang, Mark's got that good software. Oh, AVAX. I do want to look at AVAX because I was interested in looking. AVAX is coming down to our local golden pocket in confluence with the bottom of the channel. Now, guys, on AVAX, the thing is we had our big dump happen. Now, on Coinbase, it only wicked to $17, not $8.50 like Bybit did. But after that, you can see this nice descending channel that we were in. And we're coming down to the bottom of the descending channel. The thing is if we are going to hold this general area, you're going to want to see that like head and shoulders or micro accumulation, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And if we can hold this, you might be able to at least get a move up to take out these range highs into your channel midline. And that's also what would be considered your like neckline if you're talking in terms of inverse head and shoulder pattern trading. So, but once again, if we could take out the lows and grab that liquidity, remember, liquidity is the most important thing. We could grab that liquidity down at 14.65, see one more low being made, seeing nice bull divs. Look at daily bull divs being made there. Multiple drives of daily bull div being made. I mean, it would just be so nice to see. And the other thing that we want to talk about here, if we look at, let's just hide this channel real quick. Let's hide all of our local TA. We busted through that weekly. So that weekly, unfortunately, remember we were looking to long 16.5 where the weekly in the bottom of the pitchfork band was, but we're breaking the pitchfork band down. And if we look on the daily time frame, this is what's scary. You broke it down and look at, now that we've broken below it, resistance, resistance, resistance. 3 daily candles trying to wick back inside of this pitchfork band. We cannot close a daily candle back inside of this pitchfork band. If we continue to reject here, it's highly likely we come down and take liquidity, but we might even come all the way back down to the bottom of the pitchfork, which would really suck, but you could be coming down to $13, around $13 here. You do have a nice little order block in here. You can see this order block right here, which an order block is just one red candle smashed in between a bunch of green candles. So you could pull that order block. It's also a daily level, of course, or a 2-day, maybe a daily as well. It's right at $13. That order block's right at $13. I know one of you guys told me a way to move this over. It's there. So see, coming down into that order block at the bottom of the pitchfork might be nice as well. I think, 2-day money flow still coming out. No bull divs on the 2-day. If we go on to our weekly time frame, I think AVAX is a good project. I want to say that. And I want AVAX to run. I do own some spot AVAX here. But the fact that we're starting to, if we close this weekly candle down below this lower band, then it's not going to look good for AVAX. It's really not going to look good there. And really, we don't have anything. If you look at this imbalance in here, this fair value gap, there's nothing in here to keep us from dropping from, if we don't SFP 14.65, then we are most likely going to drop to the $13 range because there's nothing in here for support. Nothing at all in here for support. Quick move up means quick move right down through it. The order books are empty there. And so, yeah, we could continue dropping there. We can also just look at this kind of, I know this is a weird range here. Yeah, your value area lows right at that $13 area. This could have been seen as an accumulation here. You have your tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, a model 1 accumulation, Wyckoff accumulation, expansion. And then now, again, what I thought we were getting, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, model 2 accumulation, expansion, but we rejected from our golden pocket in the top of our pitchfork band. If we don't hold this, we could see that move down. Money flow is draining on the weekly. Money flow just crossed into the red on the weekly. On NAMI, it sucks, guys. It sucks that these altcoins are doing so poorly right now, but if we're looking very low time frame, you could look at this just bottoming range here. Yeah, and POC is going to be where that pitchfork band is. Let's see where our golden pocket's at. So I would say your local resistance above, let's say we are going to bounce from our this golden pocket. Hold on, let me put it on. This golden pocket, it's pulled from this low to this dead cat bounce high. Bounce from the golden pocket. We didn't quite take out the highs here. And that is, like, if we're looking at this range, yes, we did reject from the value area high, but we front ran our liquidity grab. Look at that. That high right there, or even you could say this high right here. We front ran our liquidity grabs. And because of that, we could be getting that 3-wave corrective move before seeing the drop. I just want to check that. We can pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction, and we're going to look at that corrective move. We're going to turn on our target zone. Yeah, I guess coming up to that 1-to-1 in there might be a possibility as well. So if you break above your local value area high, you could be coming up to this general area. 3-wave corrective move, take out fill in this imbalance in here, this fair value gap, and then go down. But your first local resistance is this area, 16.62 to 16.68. To me, it's more likely we do continue down. SFP here would be super, super nice. Yeah, guys, remember, I do have a Telegram community where you can ask me questions throughout the day, post in the general chat, ask me questions. I also try to post my market analysis on Bitcoin, try to post setups for Bitcoin and other altcoins if I do have them. So if you want to get into that Telegram community, it's free to sign up. All you got to do is register with BYDFI and register with my affiliate link with BYDFI and deposit $100 into the exchange. You will get 20% discounts on trading fees. You'll get a 50% deposit bonus. And then you can access the Telegram group. You just got to click the link in the description and then type in /verify in your user ID, and that'll get you access to that Telegram community. So if you're interested, once you're in, you're in. And I'm trying to build a really good community where we can all kind of support each other in trading and grow, continue to grow here. So AVAX has weekly bull divs. Let's check that. I don't think it does. I mean, no, it doesn't. So you can see here, I understand what you're saying by this, but you need a lower low on price action and a higher low on the momentum waves. So we don't have bull divs. The only way we could get bull divs on the weekly is if we take out 14.65. But look at how nice that would be. If we do come down here and take out that low and SFP it and do something like this, you would have lower lows on the price action. You would have higher lows on the momentum waves, and your money flow you'd want to see kind of starting to rise back up here. But yeah, we could. And the thing is, we might drop to 13 and bounce from there and get a nicer bull div here. And by then, hopefully your money flow is starting to kind of come up here. How much front run is considered a front run? I mean, it depends because, obviously each asset is different. Like Bitcoin, a front run of $300 is like a really close front run. Say you have a level at like, let's just say 100K or 98.2K, and you come down to like 99K or 98.5K. That's a $300 front run. I would consider that a front run. But on AVAX, if you're looking to SFP 14.65 and you come down to, a $300 away, I mean, obviously that's a long way away. So it's more of a percentage, but I would say just close to the level, but not quite hitting it. Anywhere pretty close. Like I wouldn't, on a larger time frame, I would consider this a front run of the SFP. Because if we zoom out onto the daily time frame, close to a front run, I would say, yeah, it's a little bit subjective is what I'm trying to say. Okay, yeah, no type 2 on AVAX. I was really hoping for that type 2 accumulation to play out. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. We did start to get our expansion there. We broke out of the value area high. We came up to your local golden pocket. But we wanted to see a back test of that value area high and continuation of expansion up to the top of the pitchfork. We didn't get it. And a lot of coins invalidated their macro bullish sentiments. On Ethereum, I was so bummed to see this not play out, this 5-wave impulse. I deleted it because it's no longer, but we were looking at a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4 on the back test of our 4-year long range value area high, our pitchfork band, and then we wanted to see us come up to 6K, but it didn't happen. Now, remember, guys, on Solana, we're looking to come down to 145. I would consider this a front run, okay? You see we have our point of control here at 145.5, let's say, 145.5. Solana dropped all the way and front run that POC, and we got a small rise up. But I still think we're going to come down there and touch it. And we do have a bearish pitchfork there as well. A bearish pitchfork midline. So this general box, 142 to 145. And I want to see some sort of bounce from here, even if it's to make a lower high before continuing lower. Like we could come take out these range highs in here. Come down here, bounce, and then you could just come up to take out. You could even come up to backtest this pitchfork, taking out these highs in here, taking out all this liquidity from this descending channel, and then drop again. But that would still be a very nice trade. Awesome, Andrew. I'm really glad you have some aha moments from that. That's really awesome. Okay, what's up, Darren Does Things? Welcome in, man. Good to see you in here as well. Can I short Bless again? Let's check Bless out. Bless. Oh my gosh. You see all these wicks in here. This is a low liquidity asset. Be careful trading this. Be very careful trading this. Bless. Is there a better chart for it? Man, there's nothing here. Okay, a little bit more price action on Binance. I would just be looking at this sideways range in here. Sideways range here, deviation of the range right there. So, but this is what I'm talking about with port, or what was it? COI. You have your aggressive downtrend, and then you start to find a floor here. You start to go sideways here. This is what you want to wait for, a sideways. Now you're starting to say, okay, sellers are starting to get exhausted. You're starting to find a floor for the asset where people are willing to buy at that general range, that general area down here. So now we can look at pulling a volume profile of this kind of sideways range in here. We might even do this right there. And yeah, you're breaking out of your value area high a little bit here. It's got a lot of crappy liquidity, and you can see, like, look at, we had a wick up here. You took out the liquidity, you drop back down again. So now are we just going to come up and take out this liquidity and then drop back down again? I would be looking to pump up to that liquidity level right there at 0547. Yeah, that was also a daily level in there. This thing is a mess, though, here. I have no idea what it is. At this point, you are breaking above that value area high. Let me just double check. Yeah, breaking above the value area high. If you can start to close candles above it, because you can see your last 2-hour candle wicked above it, and then you fell below it. So with this candle, if you can close this above it, I bet you're going to come up to take out this high. We'll pull our golden pocket from the range highs to these lows, these last lows after, and we'll look at that golden pocket. Golden pocket there. Dang, you really don't have much in here. I mean, you filled in, so you can see here, you had this big, nice fair value gap in here, this imbalance in the market. After you came back up, you filled that imbalance, then you came right back down. I would just say this is ranging right now. It's trying to decide, but it is starting to find a floor here. So now that you're starting to find a floor, if you break out of this value area high, start to close candles, the next thing you want to do in order to really get bullish on this is you don't want to SFP this and then come right back in the range. If you SFP that and you come back in the range, bad, bad. You're probably going to come down to at least a value area low. But if you can SFP this and then bounce on the bullish back test of the value area high, then you're going to come up to your golden pocket. For me, if I was long on this, I would definitely be TPing at some of that liquidity, maybe 50% of the position. And then if you drop and you start to bounce from the value area high, you could re-add it back down here and look to take it up to the golden pocket. We'll look at some important naked POCs in here. Nothing on the weekly. Yeah, there's, man, okay, this naked daily point of control is very nice too. You can see we have a naked daily point of control, a liquidity grab. So Andrew, earlier you were asking me about liquidity grabs, and I talked to you about liquidity grabs into support or resistances. Well, you can see now right up here, we have a naked daily point of control. Let me mark that out. We have a naked daily point of control here, and you can see this liquidity resting here. So if you saw a swing failure pattern of that high into that naked daily point of control, that would be really, really nice. Let's just say that this range is kind of matured a bit. This bottoming range is matured. And now we're going to start to expand out of here. If you're coming up in a 5-wave impulse, a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're hitting into that taking that liquidity and hitting into that value or that naked daily point of control, what would be really nice is to see some bear divs in here as well. Like, let's just say you have your big bear divs as you're coming up into that naked daily point of control, taking out that liquidity. You could see that nice reversal to backtest your prior highs in some ways. But that area, 8.6 to 8.7, looks like a nice resistance area, a little SFP into a naked daily. You'd have to get above your golden pocket, of course. Yeah, guys, Bitcoin is highly likely to continue to keep dropping here. We attempted to bounce from your golden pocket 786 area. Actually, you didn't even quite touch the 786. At least on Coinbase, you didn't. I don't know if Bybit did. Nope. But your general area. Man, okay. I just want to show you guys this. For those of you that missed Tuesday's live stream, I mean, like, look at how nice this pitchfork has been on a macro time frame level. Bear market kind of ended in here. You came up, rejected the lower band, took the range lows out. You pushed above the lower band and you back tested it as support. Now in here was a flat correction, right? You got that flat correction, but you bounced from the bottom of the band, and then you broke above it, held, pushed up, held it pretty much for the most part, pushed up to your upper band. That was your 2024 all-time high. One rejection from the upper band, two rejections from the upper band, pretty much 3-4 rejections upper band, lost it, lost the lower part of the upper band, made new lows in the range, grabbed liquidity of the range lows. Then you were able to bust above it, rejected absolutely perfectly from the top of the pitchfork. Twice. Once, twice. After rejecting from the top of the pitchfork, you back test the band now as support. Held as support, you're going to come up, you're going to take out your highs, take out the liquidity, take out the liquidity, take out the liquidity, and now are we going to drop all the way back down to back test that band? It does look like we could be seeing a drop on Bitcoin because as this range was forming, let me just get rid of that. As this upper range right here was forming with Bitcoin, distribution, it looked like a Model 1 distribution to me. I mean, how perfect. As the range was forming, and we were talking about this on the channel, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, bearish divergences, bear div, bear div, bear div. And on the daily time frame, money flow was draining out of the asset as that range was forming. You can see here multiple drives, actually from this high here even, bearish divs, bear divs and money flow draining out as the range forms. You're likely to distribute out of that range and, right around, and I don't think it's going to go straight down. Of course, we're probably going to bounce from 96.5, back test that anchored VWAP, and then we're going to come down, 92.5 is also a very key level. But we could be seeing small bounces at these levels until we get down to this pitchfork band. 92K is right where your golden pocket is. Pulled from the 74K lows to your all-time high. 92 to 94K. So we could be seeing like this continued kind of grind down here with bounces along the way. Say we bounce from 96.5, get that move. You're going to, kind of chop for a bit here. You could chop until you come down and it's more in alignment, maybe January or so. Start to bounce from that 92K area, golden pocket, pitchfork band. It's also the value area low of your range. Value area low of your big range. So that's what I would say, guys. really, other than that, not too much else to talk about here. Yeah, trash you. Well, Mark Dutch, bless you, man. Dash, we can look at Dash. Divine Hood question, please. How long did it take for you to become consistently profitable? Years, 2 years or so. But here's the thing, you don't have to take that long. Really, a lot of it is discipline and risk management. Like, so much of it is discipline. You don't have to be hard headed as I was. You really have to understand discipline, risk management, and you have to understand that. Well, first of all, find the good traders on YouTube that like actually know proper TA. Learn the TA part. Learn how to find the levels. And here's the thing: once you find the levels, it's really about discipline. You know, you mark out, like if you look at my Coinbase chart here, I have boxes that I lay out, and the boxes are where there's really close confluence. Like, look at this box here. When we came down to this box, I was expecting a nice bounce from this box. We had marked this box out weeks ahead of time. We had marked it out like a month or so before then. Came down to that box. Now, as we were coming down, we wanted to see some bull divs on the chart, at least on like lower time frames, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. You got a nice bounce. And like these boxes over and over and over have, you find your confluence of multiple like levels at the same area. You know, so the more confluence you can find for a support or resistance, the better. Mark those out and wait for the market to come to you. And then you want to see your confirmations. And confirmations are important for me. That's Market Cypher being NAMI. I'm looking for bull divs. I'm looking for money flow. And I'm also looking at CVD here. You know, CVD divergences, CVD absorption. And so those are what I look at. Of course, liquidity is important too. Look at your liquidity levels. This is free. This is CoinGlass. If you go onto CoinGlass, you go to liquidations up here, and you can go up to that liquidation tab, and you can go to a Model 2 or Model 3 heat map up here. And I like to put on the symbol. It's an aggregated. And then you could just look at your time frame. You know, like let's look at in the past week of price action. Where's our liquidity resting? It's above the highs, you know. So knowing, and liquidity acts as a magnet in some ways. So knowing that we have some liquidity up into about the 112 area makes it highly likely that if we do come down and take out our lows, we could rise to 112 afterwards. You know, come all the way up to 112 up here. Actually, what would be nice, and I said this at the beginning of the stream, based off of this channel that we broke down from, what would be really, really nice to see, because we're going to probably chop over the weekends, and like if we can come down here, bounce, and then form that range that often forms here, then you start to get your push up here. Coming up to that 112 area at the 786 would be a back test of the channel, and you're either going to continue dumping, or you can hopefully get back in it and see maybe the bull run start again. Continue, I should say. Yeah, but please hit the like button, guys. If you did get anything out of this stream at all, learned anything, or just had fun chilling with us, please hit the like button. I am going to get going here. I will be live tomorrow as well, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come join me. And also, if you want to sign up for the Telegram, remember, all you have to do is join BYDFI with my affiliate link and deposit $100. That money is your money to trade with. You will get the discounts on the trading fees. You will get the 50% deposit bonus. And then you can click the Telegram link and then type in /verify in your user ID. You'll get into that Telegram. Once you're in, you're in. So a good way to get in contact with me is through that Telegram. Ask questions through the Telegram. But thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. Mark Dutch, Time Attack, thank you guys for subbing. Really appreciate that. And I will see you guys